Hey.
Hey.
What's up?
Yeah, what's up?
Welcome.
Whew.
We're back in action.
Feels good to be good, you know?
Feels good to be good.
Yeah, because I was really good. At first, I was really bad. And then I learned. And then I was like, wait, you're really good. And then I was really good. And then I got fired. And then I was like, oh, shit, I'm got to start all over again. I don't even know if I'm really good at this. And now we're fucking really good.
We're good.
Yeah. And it feels good to be back.
We're doing cross-breeding podcasting now.
It sounded weird.
Cross promotion.
Yeah. Why?
Well, whatever. Cross,
Oh, because did I accidentally promote my show? Is that not cool?
No. Did we not just do Bobby Lee?
Oh, I didn't. Yeah. Okay. I was just making sure. That made me
wow.
Feel,
how quickly we forget.
That made me feel. I wasn't sure if I was going to talk about that, but yeah, that made me.
Well,
feel,
I don't know if it's out or. But it's
no way. There's no way.
There's no way.
I also noticed that the last episode they did his wife and the guest.
Girlfriend.
They took a photo together. Sorry,
yeah.
Girlfriend. They took a group photo together, and when we took a photo, she didn't get in the photo.
What's up with that?
That's what I'm saying. What's up with that? Something odd. Maybe she doesn't like skateboarding. I don't know. I felt like she liked me more than she liked you, which is weird because I definitely felt like Bobby Lee didn't know who I was.
Was that what you were reading from the room?
Yeah, because when a girl can't get eye contact with me, then it's either you hate me or you like me.
Wow.
Yeah. Like if you go
in.
That's how long you can keep eye contact.
Right.
It's like a second because you can't lock it. Then I'm like, wait, what did I'm like, I did something wrong. I'm like, And then the ego and then the hater both light up. She's into you, dude. I'm like, that's gross. Why would you say that? The other one's like, she fucking hates you, dude. You're the worst. And I'm like, really? That makes sense, I guess. Fuck. And then
I love how you have to go down that far.
Oh, well, yeah. They're both
the internal dialogue goes down the road.
Good guy and bad guy both have microphones, and I have no idea how to take it away from them. All I can do is argue. Sometimes I go, yeah. No, I might be pretty awesome. I agree. And then sometimes I'm like, yeah, I probably suck. Fair enough.
I thought it was good, though. That was the first time we did a proper comedy podcast together.
And I think you and I did really well.
Yeah, where we were both interjecting. And
I would be honest, dude. I felt like, obviously they want to ask Tony Hawk questions, but not too many. It was pretty fucking solid.
It did feel like it ended quickly.
Yeah.
Not abruptly, but just like, oh, it's over? That was it? Oh, that was cool.
I think that's how podcasters do their shit. It seems like they're like under an hour, guys.
I'm not going to say anything.
Okay.
Because we usually are going for an hour, and then when we do, they're like, dude, you guys should go longer. But we have been going longer with guests, and we're going to get more guests.
Look, I feel like the interview goes longer. As a professional interviewer, the interview goes longer because you are enthralled with what is happening, and usually you should have a good read on what's good for your show.
Should be engaged in it, yes.
And if you're like, I cannot stop asking this dude questions because I'm so intrigued by his existence or she, that is a great interview. Like if I'm doing an interview and I'm like, fuck, I'm pretty much tapped out of questions. Like if I'm thinking that to myself,
Harry, sure.
Then you should probably, you should probably wrap it up.
Yeah.
And I feel like that comes with not knowing your guests. Because if you run out like Rodney Mullen,
right?
I can't stop asking Rodney Mullen about stuff because every answer is like, oh, that's even weirder. Okay, what if I ask this question? Because your fucking answers are amazing. Like everything you say is like, oh, never thought of it that way. Fuck, this guy is amazing. Let alone someone's like, yeah, I just get up and I do stuff. And
did you just tease the Rodney Mullen episode?
I will tease it. I teased it to my son this morning.
Okay.
I'm pitching that interview to everybody.
Breaking news.
It's the best interview I've ever been a part of in my life.
Breaking news. Rodney will be on the show soon.
Sorry, I just realized again.
We recorded it. We're saving it for a special occasion.
It's fucking insane. It's insane. Fuck everybody.
I apologize. It's not timely, but it's not like there was something that there was some dated part of it that we needed to put out right away. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we weren't talking about current events or anything. So
no.
It's very good.
It's incredible.
And we're going to give it to you soon.
He's the most incredible person alive, and we got an interview with him. So there you go.
We had to do it at night.
We had to do it at night for reasons
schedule.
that you need to hear.
Yeah.
The greatest athlete.
That's probably the
ever.
latest I've been at this office in
Right.
years.
We should have skated after just to really fucking mix it up. Should have got him on there. This is my new thing now. Anybody wants to come on Hawk versus Wolf,
I don't know if you saw. It was about maybe 5 years ago. I did a whole video of doing doubles, mostly with Andy, but also some special guests.
Yeah.
And I had to do something with Rodney. Like I had to.
Yeah.
I mean, I had to get Rodney in it.
Yeah.
But how do you do doubles with Rodney Mullen?
Yeah.
And so we built a platform between the channel on the ramp. I'll put this on the whatever.
Oh,
but
sick. He did it.
So he did a flat ground trick, and I did a trick over the channel. So he did the trick that we connected with, that we talked about on the show. Spoiler alert, we talked about how when I started doing airwalks, he learned that on flat.
Yes. Yeah.
Because we were like trading tricks.
Yeah.
And so he did an airwalk on this platform as I did an airwalk fakie over the gap.
Oh, shit.
It's pretty cool.
Man.
It's probably one of my favorite things in there.
Yeah. You got the bad end of that stick. Fucking airwalk to fakie over the gap versus
the hard part was it was hard for him to time it because he was not facing me. He was facing where the camera would be.
Okay.
So
also the photos
it was
from
really
on the deck.
hard to synchronize.
It's a video from on the deck.
Video is from the deck where he's on.
Right.
But it was hard to get the apex of the tricks both at the same time. And so I had to do it a few times, and not a fan of airwalk traveling over the gap to fakie.
Nope, I'm not doing that.
Probably not gonna do it again.
Yeah, I've been thinking about going backwards on the drive here, trying to get a few things that I'm scared to do that just have to be put back in my stuff. I'm freaked out from the invert because I got knocked out, and I haven't done an invert since. It just people don't know. It's just a hand plant. For some weird reason, now I can do the eggplant on the other hand because I haven't been knocked out on that, and I can do that, no problem.
So you go for an invert, and you do think that, like, uh-oh.
Yeah, and I bail out. And then I thought, well, what it is to me is I get tired quick. So if I do, let's say, 6 hand plants that don't work, that's a lot of work. And I don't want to make the first one, even if it feels right. I just want to sit on my hand and go, there's a landing, because I don't know what happened in that knockout. I don't know what I did wrong. And I'm like, I know that the hand plant before it was sketchy, and I was trying to like fix them, and it made it even worse.
But I think that you've just come so far in your confidence in your skating.
I'm a little bit more aware. Okay.
That you would be more aware. We're talking about, I don't know what that was, 5 or 6 months ago.
Yeah.
And you couldn't even see landings on airs. You weren't even.
Okay, good point.
Right. Everything was like, whoa, I made it. That was crazy. I don't really know what happened.
Good point.
And now I think you're a little more aware.
I can definitely see the landing. That's been happening for a couple months now. Yeah.
I went through that just with some tricks after I broke my pelvis, where I used to take so many tricks for granted, even tricks that people think are hard or blindside or dangerous or whatever. I just didn't even think about it. And then that shifted everything when I broke my pelvis doing something that I generally had wired.
Yeah.
And it was like, can I do this? Can I do any of these things easily?
Wow.
And it was probably about a year before I really felt like I was skating to a level that I was happy with and that justified being out there doing it in public again.
I can understand that. That mega ramp slam I took, I feel like the impact of it felt like such a car crash and such a, like, I feel like I got lucky what I landed on. I feel like everything else should have broke. And it made me realize that mega ramp is like, I mean, you could have died on that trick. Like I was out of control and I landed on whatever part hit the deck. I don't know. I didn't call that. I was upside down wiggling for my life. Next thing you know, and I'm like, that was a really hard hit.
Right.
And then all of a sudden I'm somersaulting down to the flat. That bit even hurt compared to the other bit. I was already like, first slam has ruined me. Next one doesn't even exist. I was like, blah, blah, whatever. But the first one put the fear in me. Like there was a thing where I was like, man, I don't want to take that slam again. Like I don't know if I can take that slam again. So it was like, if it's a 50-50, because I remember I did frontside threes over it, and I was like, okay, you're getting close to the only other person that's any good at it. And then that Indy 5 slam just made me I was like, I don't really need to make it.
He did an Indy 5 on the mega ramp quarter pipe, which is 28 feet tall.
Yeah.
You're probably, I don't know, 12 feet up,
At least, yeah.
and landed on the coping on his body, not hanging up,
Yeah.
on his body.
My
like,
hip.
have a seat.
Yeah. Yeah, my hip sideways. So I hit it on the side of my hip on the side. So I was half head first into the ramp, but my body caught the ramp on the way in, and I went whoa, and then it bounced me out. And then my ass started to go over my head, and I was like, you got to be shitting me. And had to
It already hurts.
I was already in a car crash, and then I feel this my legs go over my head, and I'm like, oh, there's the flat, and tucked my chin to my chest to go over, and then whoa, and I'm like, man, that really hurt. I mean, I couldn't move my legs for 5 minutes. Jakey was crying. Jakey's like, Jason's broke his back. This is before Jake slam. This is like before anybody
before
had
Danny bounced off the coping.
yeah, before anybody had done it yet. I was like,
You're the pioneer
Yeah,
of mega
man.
ramp slams.
Man, why can't I be the pioneer of fucking skateboard trick or something? But I remember Bucky came over to my house that night because he was like, hey man, how are you? Because
Yeah.
later, earlier this afternoon, you fucking died. And I remember it was X Games Mega Ramp. I just couldn't make that 5. I just couldn't. I would just my body was like, don't get out of here.
Why are you doing this
Yeah.
again?
And I was like, no, you stop being such a bitch. And it would be like, fuck you. Get off this ramp. I'm like, man, this is terrible. Because to me, I didn't want to win. I mean, great. I wanted to make my ride.
Right.
I got a ride I'm going to make. And then I'm going to make another ride that's even harder. And I'm like, 540. That's your fucking thing. You do a fucking, 18-foot backside 5. That's it. You don't need any of this shit. Like I feel like I did a rocket 360 over the gap in Mexico, and I did it like a 20-foot backside there because of the altitude.
Oh, wow.
I don't care anymore. I've got it on video. I don't care if you think you're good. I got video of doing a 20-foot backside air. Put them on the fucking list. Name your name where you did a 20-foot air. It's a fucking small list, and I'm on it. And that scared the fuck out of me once again because I got knocked out in Australia like a week before it and did the full, like I was in hospital and I pissed my pants.
What, doing what?
Jumping off that wall. I guess we could put that in there. I jumped off.
The wall at Pran?
The first Pran ramp and the wall were different from when I was living there. So my friend goes, you got to jump off that wall because we always talked about it. But the thing that people don't know is there was a ledge on the wall and we got on the ledge. And we jumped off the ledge, not the fucking top of the roof of it.
Right.
So the ledge is gone. It's a different ramp. And I go up there to see like how to get on the ledge. And I'm like, oh, there's no ledge. And it's 5,000 people go, do it, Ellis, fucking do it. And I was like, seems almost impossible for me to make that. But everyone's like, come on. I'm like, are you going to walk off the roof?
Wow.
Like you're not going to walk.
I've walked off a couple of those.
Because you're smart. You got
Where I
common
looked at, I was
sense.
like, yeah, it's more likely I'm going to fall and take a big slam.
Right.
And that's just not how I want to end this.
Well, it was the reason that it was worth it to me is I knew it was my last demo as a pro skateboarder in Australia, and Danny was there and Colin was there, and it was the DC team. And I'm just some B team asshole that makes jokes.
So you want to go out with a bang?
And I was like, I could take this fucking demo. I could take this from everybody, and it's my home ramp or my home turf. I'm like, all you got to do is jump off that fucking wall, and it's yours. And I'm like, you know what? It's worth it. So then I jumped in a few times, and the whole time I'm falling in, I'm trying to get my head to go back to being in a frontside air because that's the position it's in. So I'm falling and I'm trying to dip my head at the same time. And I'm like, frontside air. I'm like, no, that's not going to work. And then I just kept doing it. I was like, I'm going to make it. I'm going to at least put it down and explode on the flat, but I'm going to put it down. And then I jumped in lean air and then went to grab it front side. And then when I put my feet on, it was a little off and I was like, ah, shit. And I took it off at the last second and my knees landed on the board. And I went, wha-boom, out, convulsing. I saw the video, first person there's Colin, but, I was in an ambulance. I came to for like 2 seconds and then I was back out. I couldn't breathe, man. I was in the dark and something was choking me and I was fighting it.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden I'm back and I'm in a hospital and a nurse lady is wiping my balls with a warm, wet towel because I guess I peed myself, but I don't know that yet.
That's how you woke up,
Yeah.
or that's when you started to have
Well, someone
more
said that I
coherent. Yeah, because you I mean, when you're in a state of unconsciousness, you can be talking and
Someone said I woke up in the ambulance and said a few words and then I went back
Yeah.
out again. But you know, dude, when you're awake and then you go back out, that's bad. That's not good. Like your brain is not coping. You're like, hey, no, everybody, I'm okay. Like that's not good. So then I remember the lady rubbing my privates with a wet, warm towel, and that's when my brother that passed away, Stevie, he comes walking in, and I've got this lady rubbing my balls with a warm towel. And I go, hey, it's not cheating if you knock yourself out. And he's like, you fucking asshole. I still had a joke, and I'd been conscious for like 30 seconds. Hey, everybody. Ellis May and the Birdman talking about Manscape because Tony Hawk had a Manscape before we did this podcast. I had 2. And now I have 5. I think Manscaped is making...
It's not a competition.
No, look, whatever champion of the world that wins everything, you might have won more X Games medals than me, but I've got more Manscapes than you, so suck a butt.
Okay.
Anyway, man, I did not just say that to you. We got discounts, and then it's Christmas time, so now would never be a better time to purchase a Manscaped, even if you are already aware of its magnificence and how many things it has. Manscaped, they got ball cream, they got different guards, and it's like there's like body washes and did you know they got no animal products in anything? I think it's super weird that they bring that up, but also awesome. I love that the world has to mention that these days, even though I still drive a car with I got leather shoes. I'm an idiot. Anyway, so you know about all the Manscaped stuff. I know you use it. If you don't use it, you could get it for somebody else. Let's say you love your hair and you want to be a Wolverine. You could still get this for everybody else. Because look, I don't want to get into it, but pubes aren't cool, man. Whoever's leaving those things on the public toilets, what's up with that? You need to trim those. That's ridiculous. What is falling off you in the middle of the day? That's out of control. So we got a discount here. 20% off, everybody. Free shipping if you go to manscaped.com/hawkwolf. Be the ballsiest gift giver this year with Manscaped. Hey, everybody. Jason Ellis and the Birdman here. Hawk versus Wolf talking about Raycon. Did you know that it is Christmas time is approaching and you could give a gift? You know, giving, they say, is better than receiving. I'm still too young to understand that. I want someone to get me a Ferrari. I know that I'd probably appreciate it more if I work for it, but nah, I just want one. I don't care how I get it.
I don't think giving you a Ferrari is going to give me as much joy as getting one either.
See, and that's why I haven't got one, Tony, because you haven't figured it out yet.
Yeah.
It's going to be better to just give one. Anyway, these earbuds are, you can't, even if you weren't going to use them and someone gave them to me for Christmas, it's a good look. They're really good. They work. I run in them. I think my wife stole mine now.
It's true.
Right.
I ride my bike with them on. There's a button you can press for like awareness mode so I don't get hit by a car. Rules.
Oh, what? There's pure mode. There's balance modes, bass mode, so you can turn your hip hop and EDM up. Tony, you know when you're EDMing, you do that a lot. I'm sure.
You talking to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
EDM and Tony Hawk.
You got me.
They synergize. You could probably catch Tony on any given morning running down the street with EDM beats playing. That's never going to happen.
Only if it's guppy. It's my son's music. Yes, EDM, if that's what you want to call it.
The holidays are coming, as I said, faster than you think. Now is the time to knock out the gift. That gift list that you've been avoiding, the last minute shipping scramble. Sorry, I didn't go to school, and me trying to read all this stuff. I already said it. If you want to get a gift, or if no one's looking and you want to just get yourself some sweet earbuds, I'm sorry. Here I go back to being me again, but they're really good. They really work. I would just lie and be like, man, but I've run in them a couple of times. They've got these different earbud inserter things because I've got a giant head and which means I've got giant ear holes. I've got a little bit of giantitis, I think. So I'm packing as well. So gross. But I put the big ones in so it doesn't fall out of my head when I'm running, because they usually fall out of my giant ear holes. So anyway, we got a discount. Wait, where is it? Oh, yeah. Raycon.com/Hawkwolf. 15% off your entire order. So you can buy some for yourself, and then some for your mum, and then some for your brother or whatever. It depends if you like him or not.
What about Bob, your uncle?
If you have an uncle named Bob, and you get him these, he was already your uncle, but now he's fully full-blown uncle now. Raycon.com/Hawkwolf. But yeah, the doctor was like, if you hit your head again, you could die. It's fair. Doctors say that. And then they were like, there's a mega ramp contest in Mexico City. And I was like, well, I'm going.
Yeah.
And then that roll in and the altitude, I did not know this, but altitude makes a huge difference in a lot of things. Cardio, but also if you go into the air, flying into the air or rolling with your own body power, just put 10 feet on it. Because the first person to jump the gap, you jump the gap and then you land down the land. I watch him jump in the air and start wiggling, like going,
rolling up the windows.
And then like, don't go. Like the yells of chain go up to, he says, don't go. And I'm like, okay. I wonder why. I did look bad. And then he gets up there, fucking don't pump. It's the fucking, and I'm like, oh, cool. And then I still overshot it. Like I took off and it was like immediately doing this thing without a board. Like, no. And then you catch the last part. If you don't catch the last part, it's over. Yeah. It's like a 50-foot air to the ground.
Yep.
So I do that, slow down, make the gap. And what I don't realize is when you hit that quarter pipe, usually it's about a 15, 16 foot for me because I'm 200 pounds and I don't de-pump. I have to pump, otherwise I'll collapse.
Same. I've never been able to de-pump that quarter pipe.
I think that's the most. I'm happy that you guys can do it.
I am fascinated. Like I'm jealous that they can do that they can slow down. How do you slow down on that thing?
Nope. If I'm like slow down, just means I go and do a Jake Brown. So I'm not doing that. I'm just gonna pump, which means that the first air is at least 16 feet. And I've noticed from many years of Mega Ramp, the first one when you go down the roll-in, your eyes aren't ready. It makes your eyes water. So you go down the roll-in, then whoop, 360, and you're like, man, thank God the wind's not in my eyes for a second. And then you land again, you're like, and it's like, whoop, and you go whoop, and you're like, I don't know. And okay, now I know. And okay, yeah, I'm in the pocket, I land. But there's a full fucking second there where you go, I don't know. Which means you could be over here dead.
Every time I've skated, I go through that I don't know thing for at least 5 or 6 tries.
Okay. Well, because of this one, because it was 20, I couldn't tell where I was going to land for way longer.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, being a vert skater, you never seen the coping that far away.
You can't judge it.
So you question everything that you already know. And it's like, am I going to hang up? I don't know. I've never seen it that far.
I did a whole day of every time I did the backside air, my board came up here into my hand to throw it, to start wiggling for my life, because I'd go boom and be like, oh my God, too hot. You know what I mean? And then
that bong too is such a different, it's such a different
it's
sound.
Like being shot.
Yeah,
because
we're used to a little bit of a tail scrape going up the coping or a snap, or even if you don't hit the tail, there's a little like ding.
Yeah.
When you hit that Mega Ramp quarter pipe, it's like a bong. Yeah. It's like a gong bell.
Yeah. It's
to remind you, like, here you go.
Yeah. No,
you're going to go extremely high.
To me, it's car crash speeds. It just feels like a car crash.
Yeah.
Like I feel like, here we go. Like I've been in car crashes. I'm like, oh, wow. But you ain't got no frame. You got nothing to bounce off except you. So it's like being in a car crash where as soon as the car starts to crash, you get ejected from the car.
Yeah.
And now you've got to do this weird like survival wiggle ragdoll thing where you're like, man, please don't end it now. But yeah, that was the most fear, and it took I think it was a whole day. It might have been like I didn't make it until the next day. Like I might have bailed backside for an entire day, and then the second day I made a backside, and I was like, "That's the biggest." I'd already was looking at radio. I was like, "You just did a 20-foot method air, dude. Like you can just say goodbye."
Good night.
Yeah.
was I going to tell you? Oh, so when I broke my pelvis, one of the first things when I came back, when I first started skating, before I even really had my confidence, was going to the first mega in Point X.
Yeah,
because
that's where I slammed.
I got invited and everyone's going and I just started skating again.
Oh, dude, that is the.
So there's video of that, and you can see that I do not have the right balance of weight on my feet.
Yeah.
So as I land, I start to I do this little shuffle, like to try to force my weight forward because it was where I broke my pelvis. It was actually on my front leg,
Okay.
like on that side. So I was always favoring my back leg. So through that first 6 months or so, I was shooting out and falling a lot.
Whipping out.
Just on basic, like I'd be doing something and all of a sudden I'm just on the flat bottom on my back because I wasn't distributing my weight properly. But on that day, it was even more evident, but I was doing it more as survival. So it was frightening. But
What is that ramp?
But I made a couple errors. I mean, that was the goal for the day, was to make, I think I made one backside air, one indie air. And I was like, that's good. Good day.
You know, the very first time I ever went down the mega ramp, I had a DC basketball jersey on and no elbow pads and my normal vert board, because the only person that had a mega ramp board was one person, Danny Way.
Right.
And he's talking to me on the drive, talking to me, it's easy, you fucking do it, no problem. You know, so thanks, Danny. He's pumping me up. We get up there on the roll in. He's like, you ready to go? He's like, you got to pump, like, you know, telling me all the right things. He's like, don't try to deep pump when you get to the quarter pipe. So it's all pretty scary because he's telling me a lot of stuff where I'm like, man, that's a lot of stuff. And it sounds like you're telling me in a pretty serious manner, like, make sure you do everything I'm telling you. And I'm like, all right, duly noted. And I go down the roll in. This roll in isn't one of those roller coaster ones. It's a flat one. You kind of, it's not hard to skateboard.
The wobbles come on slowly.
Yeah. It's a gradual pace. So anyway, I go, as I start to let go, I drop in, start going down the roll in, and he goes, blah, 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 blah. And I go, what? and I'm like, and he's like, blah, blah. He's like, and I'm like, did he just, hopefully he didn't say, oh, wait, don't go, your wheel's coming off or something. Like, I'm like, hopefully that wasn't too important. I look back to the quarter pipe and I made a backside straight air over it. And I was like, oh yeah, no problem. Now we're in my territory, the quarter pipe. And I look up the ramp and it reminded me when I first got there, it's like the perfect storm. Like, you know, the last wave that George can't get up. Like, oh, come on, you're going to make it. No, you're not. Like, you're not going to make it. So I did that. Like, as I went up, I was like, no. Like, I looked up at it and it made me lean back. I whip out on the way up and skid up the quarter pipe on my back.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that.
And bonk the back of my helmet off the coping, like, dong. And I'm like, and then I look back and do like this thing. And
you became the skateboard.
Yeah. But I was like, man, we got a long day ahead of me. And then all the burns. And he's like, oh.
I get them all over. I used to get them all over my calves. So then
not having shit covered on there is insane.
Yeah. So then I just got, I used to wear Quicksilver snowboard socks.
Oh.
That would go up to my knee pads.
And that didn't melt?
That didn't melt, but then there was always a little gap. And so you sometimes would get a burn on that gap.
Yeah.
Dude, that's so crazy.
I got so burnt. I remember Danny's like, dude, why don't you just wear a moto t-shirt? I'm like, because you didn't tell me.
Yeah.
I stood here for an hour with a basketball jersey on. You didn't want to tell me anything? Yeah. But that I told my kids about that. The burn I had where their mother was around at the time. And it was, I burnt my ribs. And it was like every rib
you saw it.
It had the burn. And it was afterwards, and Blayback and Colin McKay, all those people are having some beers. And I'm like, I guess I got to get in the shower. And they're like, yeah, whatever, go in the shower. And I'm like, Andrea, can you help me? She's like, yeah, not fair enough. And I think I was allowed, like I got given a Corona because it was like, give the guy a beer. Like, and I think Danny might have even given me a painkiller. I'm not sure. Because they were just like, whoa, dude, your back is fucked. But that shower, because that place is hideously dirty and infested, I'm like, I got to wash it. So I got Andrea washing my burns, and it's in one of those log cabins where it's just super hot and shitty. I think there was flies in my shower. So flies are trying to get on me. I got my hands on the wall, and Andrea's scrubbing this thing, and I'm just like, I've had bones come out of my skin. I'm like, legitimately fucking ow. Like, fuck me. I remember like afterwards coming out high. on
Oh, 'cause it was
on
so
the-
painful.
on the pain. Like
Yeah.
they're all talking. And I'm like, you guys.
That's one of
don't
those
even-
ones where it burns, it stings when it goes, and usually you just wait for that to subside. And when
Stays.
it's that deep, it doesn't subside.
Stays.
So every time you're in the water, it's like, oh no.
It goes
Yep.
After the fact. Like
Yep.
you just keep, and then when it heals, if you go, hey, it rips. If you laugh too loud, it rips.
Yeah.
And that's like a whole new pain as well, where you're like, fuck yeah, man.
Oh yeah, when it gets just that crust on it, and then I'm dealing with it right now with my shin. This one
Again?
took a,
Wait,
it
you
took
hit
a
it
turn.
again?
No, it took a turn, so I had to because it started to get
took a turn?
Yeah, it
Wait,
started-
it's infected?
yeah, so lame. Because I skated, because I had to skate.
It took a turn.
It's because
You're fucking 50, dude.
stop it.
It took a turn. Wait, how infected is it?
It's got, you know how it starts to get the what looks like pimples all around it, but they started spreading further. So
Staph.
it's like
is
a
getting it?
version of Staph.
Oh, a version of Staph.
Well, you know, it's Staph light.
Oh.
But
Oh,
it's
you
because
animal.
I had that. It was clean. I was doing it, but then I didn't have to. But we set up this. Sometimes we do demos here.
Yeah.
For it's hard to explain, but basically we called it like a VIP experience, and we will donate that to certain charities.
Oh,
So
cool.
at a charity event, they'll have an auction item that's like, come to Tony Hawk's Ramp and hang out and watch them skate and have lunch and whatever. So I did that for this one charity. We used to do a lot more. And we set the date, and it's always like, it's got to be a mutual date because people are traveling. So it was that date. And I was like, I can't cancel that one. So
No.
I skated, and then the next day, bad. I think I put a stop to it. It's okay.
We're gonna skate today.
Yeah, I got it covered now. It's on the mend. It's okay. What? Don't do that.
Oh, I will.
It was bad. It was bad like 4 days ago. It was bad. It was really gross. It was
It's
problematic. It's better than that, yes.
So you don't have Staph. You fought it off.
It's lingering. Let's put it that way. Whatever.
I just. Do you like antibiotics?
No, I don't.
I hate them.
no, I'm not. That's why I will do everything in my power to not take those.
You said it's gone down though.
It's gone down, yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah.
As long as it doesn't keep getting more infested, because then you're fucked.
Oh yeah. No,
Sounds
I've
like
been
you
there.
were right on there.
No, I've had crazy, like there was a whole outbreak of Staph going on through vert skaters.
Yeah,
sure
I'm not
you knew
gonna
about
say
it.
what it was called back then.
I know, but it was like early 90s, right?
Yeah. I remember
And-
Mike Crum was the first person I knew that.
I think patient zero was Paul Zitzer. That's been it's like someone
they got
actually
it to him.
researched it at some point.
Good.
But if you were skating with that crew at all,
Paul.
or your pads were anywhere,
Yeah.
you got it. And
Yeah.
I got it twice.
Oh.
One time I got it. One time I got it right on my ass. Where it because sometimes it would just look like a crazy. I can't even describe.
Got it. It was a big one.
Big one, yeah.
And you
It looks like a
squeezed it.
giant zit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But if you were to squeeze it, then it spreads further,
yeah.
and
yeah.
you can't not squeeze it.
Yeah. Well, it starts leaking. I think people
It starts
that
leaking.
don't know.
So
It's a spider bite looking thing. I've had people tell me they've got a spider bite.
yeah,
and
that's
I'm like,
always the thing. Oh,
I'm
it's
like,
a
no,
spider
it's
bite. I'm like,
Staph.
nope, that's Staph.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then sometimes another one will crop up near it, or even somewhere else on your body, and you're
Yeah.
like, oh, now we're really, it's a problem. But I had this one that became like this volcano.
on your butt.
Yeah, and I hadn't gone to the doctor. I was just like, whatever, like, just thought I was callous back then for sure
Yeah.
about it, and never realizing how serious it was.
Did you pop it?
No, I went snowboarding and jumped this thing,
This
and it
is
was
so
icy
gross.
and butt checked.
You're the grossest person.
I
This
butt
this
checked.
episode is you're so fucking gross. Like you're fucking.
But you only know how gross it is because you've had this. I'm not
You're gonna tell me you slammed it and popped it open?
exploded.
Oh my god, you're gross. Oh.
So much that I was like, what? Why is it all wet?
Oh!
So then I go to the ski patrol.
And you show him?
I'm like, I got something, and they're like, that's a big problem. And then they had a little urgent care. It was at Snowbird, so up in Park City. Like I'm traveling to go snowboarding with this thing. Like I'm so dumb.
With Staph.
With Staph, yeah. I mean, I know better now, but
no.
I didn't really understand it.
Because you weren't.
So I go to their little hospital where people get with broken legs and stuff that are on the mountain. They go, and then the guy's like, "Oh, that's this yeah," and then prescribe me antibiotics.
Antibiotics, yeah, you need her, you'll die.
They were gone, yeah.
Okay, so
there was no way I was going to contain that one. Let's put it that way.
how much did it come off your bum? Like, how big was the lump?
I don't know. I mean, the head of it was like.
You don't know. You never looked at it. Did you look at it?
After the fact, yeah.
No, before you.
Oh, before,
it.
yeah, yes.
And
yes.
did you go, man, that's a big ass zit?
Yeah, and then, but I knew like, oh, I should probably not touch it because everyone says when you do that, it spreads more.
Oh, okay.
So I wasn't touching it, but it was so tender, it was so painful, and then when I bounced, it was like,
oh my god, that thing was
well,
so ready
there's no more
to
pressure.
Go. I'm sure you slammed hard, but that just means that thing was so ready to go.
Yeah.
To know that, and so you showed somebody your pussy ass. You showed.
I had no choice.
You showed some poor snowboard medic your pussed out
snowboard
Staph
medic.
Ass.
Yeah, probably some like
I hurt myself.
Medical school student. Like, hey, here's what
Tony
you're
Hawk's pussed out ass. Like,
welcome to your career.
Hey, dude, I think I hurt my ass. And he's like, God damn, man, what is that? You need to get to the ER or just get the fuck out of here
That was
at
pretty
least.
much it.
Hey everybody, Jason Ellis here with Tony Hawk, Hawk versus Wolf, talking about disco. I don't look, I'm 50 and I think Tully calls me, I think I'm narcissistic. I think that's what it is. So look, you're going to die, but if you're lucky, you can be like kind of handsome all the way until the end. Like Sean Connery. You think Sean Connery was kind of wrinkly, but he was 80 when he died. He probably used disco. I mean, I know he's dead and he can't vouch for it right now, but he definitely did some sort of maintenance thing. You got to maintain, because you wake up in the morning, you see yourself looking fresh, so you believe you've still got it. You're still the kid that once was kicking the ass. It still could be you. You know what I mean? It's like the lines that tell a story, but you got to slow that story down a little bit so that you feel the will to want to succeed every day. I know that rugged men out there, I don't need any moisturizer, I just want to burn. What about all the rugged actors in the world? Guaranteed use moisturizers and all different stuff. These guys make it easy for you because they give you like a starter kit. And then, because I don't really know, my wife teaches me how to put on moisturizer, because apparently I do it wrong. I just squeeze it into my palm and I go, bleh. And she's like, you don't do that. I'm like, what do you mean? You just rub it. It's in my face. Let's go. But apparently there's like a thing with your fingers that you do. And I'm like, man, this is like trying to learn how to have sex all over again. It's very technical. Anyway. Oh man. Then they got face cream. They got the what's the black stuff?
It's a face wash and a stick that you rub on your face. It's awesome.
Yeah. So like exfoliates and stuff and makes you fresh. Keeps you fresh as a daisy. And then you put your creams on and your eye cream. Do you like baggy eyes? Do you like dark circles under your eyes? Who does? You know, except for that one guy that was in the Monster movie with the light bulb in his mouth. I think he was like putting it on purpose. But everybody else doesn't want it. And you can avoid it by going here and getting yourself a fat 30% discount. Go to letsdisco.com/HawkWolf. Enter the code HawkWolf at checkout for 30% off your first order. That's letsdisco.com/HawkWolf for 30% off your first order. Thank you, Disco. Man, that story, because I know...
you know what, though? So just to expand on that, the first time I ever got staph infection was in New Zealand.
Yeah.
Because my brother and I were on we just went surfing for a week and we rented an RV.
Cool.
It was pretty sick. So the first time I went to Oz, when I saw you, from there, my brother came with me because they Transworld offered for him to write an article on the trip.
Yeah.
So they sent him there. And then he and I went to New Zealand from there and spent a week just driving around in an RV surfing.
Sick.
But I got a staph infection from that trip. And he took me to the emergency room because it started going on my knee. It was just getting huge, and I'd never had one before. And they checked it out, whatever, like knew exactly what it was, gave me antibiotics, $5.
Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Socialized medicine.
Yeah. Well, don't start that.
That was
yet.
my first experience with that.
No, I know. I lived there. I broke a lot of bones.
Yeah.
And I would just walk in and
But both he and I
would walk out with
both he and I
painkillers.
were walked out like that. That was it.
Yeah.
That's all. It
Yeah.
was a totally different experience.
Yep. Yeah. The first time I got hurt in America, I was scared
Oh yeah.
how much shit you go through. And,
Yeah.
and like you got to write down this and then not having insurance. So they show you like what they can charge you. And you're like, wait, that's impossible.
Yeah.
I got knocked out in Vegas and I was like, they were trying to take me in an ambulance. And I was like, absolutely not. And then I remember because I was blind for a little bit after I got hit and I couldn't see. And
And you're denying the
fuck
care.
yeah, I was denying
know,
it.
it's crazy.
I
man.
made like fucking like $600 a month.
right.
I'm not getting an ambulance. It's the end of
Right.
my life.
Yeah.
I assume that they're thousands of dollars for.
Yeah.
That's what I was
Yeah.
under the impression of. But I remember telling somebody there, I was like, make sure I'm not going. Just tell him I'm not going. He's like, you have to fill out a form. I'm like, I can't see. And it's like, and then I can see out of one eye and the other one, this one was, I think it was my left eye was blind for a little bit. So it's like, and I can't read. Like I'm a lot better now, but back then I was really bad. And he's like, you have to write why you don't want to be taken. And I was like, cause I'm okay. Cause I could spell that.
That's what you wrote.
Yeah.
That's
Because I
pretty
didn't know
good.
how else to get out. I was like, what do you, like a detail? Or I feel, I don't know how to spell fucking any of that. I think I might have spelled cause wrong. I know okay. But
Because I'm okay.
that's what I did. And then my eye came back. And I remember that's right. The guy that was my friend who's not that friendly anymore. I had an oxygen mask and he was taking it off me because he was still in the contest and he was taking oxygen hits to like get himself pumped for the contest.
Wow.
And I'm like, that sounds like
Glad I could provide that for you.
Yeah, no, good guy. Always swinging in my corner. But back to the Staph thing, Mike Crum had it and he had it on the top of his knee, on his thigh.
Yeah.
And he popped it on the toilet and it hit him in the face. and I just remember him, it hit me in the face. So he just thinks he's getting Staph in the mind for sure. Right between the eyes, like fucking bam. And he's like, oh.
It's the worst,
And
man.
I was like, man, you're probably going to die. That's definitely the last place you want to get hit by that.
You know, when you're also like, if your nodes get swollen,
Yes,
that's when
yes.
you know it's starting to get into your bloodstream.
Well, the worst one was Shani. Shani felt bad in a movie theater. He had it, didn't know he had it, didn't know what Staph was. And I guess he was in the movie theater and felt really bad in the theater. So he left the theater and his friend came out and he had a red line from the cut
right. Yeah.
going up his arm towards
Yep.
his heart. And when he went to the hospital, they were like, if you waited a little bit longer, you'd be dead.
Yep.
And I think that was that one for me was where I was like, oh.
How can we make this a PSA?
Hey,
If you think it's some sort of spider bite and it's not the usual sort of acne thing, do not mess with it.
a guy at a party in a jacuzzi as some stupid vacation thing, and he's in there, and I see it immediately and go, oh, I'm not getting in that jacuzzi.
Yep.
And I go, hey man, you got Staph? And he's like, no, man, I got bit by a spider a couple days ago. And I
No.
go, no,
Yeah.
that's Staph. And he goes, what's Staph? And I'm like, it's an infection. If you don't get it fixed, you'll die. And he's like, ho. And then I see him 2 days later, bandaged, out of the pool. Hey, man, you were right. That was Staph. And I was like, no
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Dr. Skateboard, if you've seen enough Staph, so there's my PSA. If you see a lump and you didn't see a spider bite you,
Yeah.
get it checked out. 'Cause that is
they
the
have
worst
this,
shit ever.
They have, I forgot what it's called, Antibax, something like that. They have a prescription antibiotic too that sometimes will take care of it if it hasn't spread too far.
Yeah.
But what I do is I just contain the area and destroy it with Neosporin, like cover it for at least 12 hours.
Okay.
All the area that's affected. And for now, you know, in my life and my age, that seems to work.
Okay.
There you go.
If you catch it early, definitely.
You catch it early, but if you don't catch it early and it's starting to spread, just don't even mess with it. 'Cause
basically fucking clean yourself. You know, all the time.
yeah.
I feel
Yeah.
like you get a cut and you're like, man, I'm busy. Clean it.
Yeah.
Because that's really how it
There you
starts.
go.
Well, it is helpful.
No.
I'm telling you, you can get one and then you get the antibiotics. I'm like, I don't see what the problem is. But if you don't get that antibiotics and you let it get a little bit further into your system, I've had that.
You're going to be hospitalized.
You feel like you're going to die.
Yeah. Well, because it gets to be like you feel like you have the flu.
Yeah. It takes you out.
Yeah. I got it at Wallows.
Oh, that makes sense.
I got a Wallows. I fell when we were shooting Animal Chin.
No.
Yeah,
you got it back
there's
then.
actually a shot. There's I think there's a distant shot of us going down, and you see us both all jumping one of the hips.
Yeah.
And I don't come up after the landing.
You ate shit.
I ate shit. Like I kind of hung up, so I just fell forward, and I got a scrape. And that was so when we were shooting Animal Chin, we shot it in reverse order because Stacy wanted us to all be in Hawaii at the end. Because Hawaii was going to be like a vacation for us.
Okay.
So in Animal Chin, Hawaii is the first scene.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that right? At Wallows, yeah. And so it was like, oh, we're going to shoot this crazy video and then you guys get to hang out in Hawaii. So second day that I'm there, I start feeling like I have the flu. But I didn't realize that's what it was. And this thing is just festering. Like it's not scabbing up. I've never seen anything like that, right?
All right.
I'm just like, oh man, like this is a bummer. And so then we flew. So then I spent 2 days in the hotel room.
Sick.
Yeah. And I remember
Did they catch on yet, or are you just sick, dying?
I just thought I was sick.
So no one's giving you antibiotics at all?
No, because we don't know any better. And
Yeah.
so I was rooming with McGill, and they're like, they get free days. They're going to the beach. They're surfing Waikiki, and then they'd come back and like they'd go out to eat, and then McGill would like bring me takeout leftovers. So that was my big like celebration of doing Animal Chin.
Oh wow!
But then we flew to LA, and I'll never forget this. We flew to LA, and we had to fly. We had to fly to LA. We got in at midnight, and then we were flying the next day to Arizona for Duel Diablo.
What's that?
That was a big contest in Tempe.
Oh, okay.
Big half pipe contest.
Okay.
So we flew to LA. We're staying at Stacy's house because that's just kind of what we did back then. Stacy had to take me to the hospital when we landed. So then he takes me to Cedars-Sinai in LA, in Beverly Hills. And I go through the whole thing. They prescribe antibiotics. Then we get on a plane at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. to fly to Duel Diablo and get there the day of the event. Like everyone else has been there for 3 days practicing.
Yeah.
I was out of my mind. Like I was still kind of in the flu state.
Yeah.
But because I had the antibiotics, like it was starting to fade a little bit.
But now you're weak and
we're weak,
the flu.
And we're flying in the day of the event. So no practice. So we're just like straight in. I think that I can't remember. I think I was wearing something on my elbow just to keep it so it wasn't like rubbing on everything.
Yeah.
It was brutal. It was seriously brutal, but made it through. And I remember I did well in the contest and went straight to the hotel and slept for like 18 hours.
That's a young man's body getting it done right there.
Yeah.
Like when you're older, you can't do that.
No.
You can't do when I really tired, man, I must have slept for like 2 days. I'm like, you son of a bitch. Like I'm exhausted. And then I go to sleep and I wake up at 7 a.m. ready to feed the kids. I'm not even living with them.
Yeah.
I wake up and I'm like, who wants breakfast?
I woke up at 5 today.
I can't do that.
But I didn't want to.
That.
Well, I'll tell you why, because and now we're just into sickness. But Keegan flew home from college on Saturday and was visibly ill when he got off the plane. Like he came down and I was just like, oh,
but it's not
man.
COVID.
He goes, I just woke up and I got sick. No, tested him, not COVID. He's like, I woke up and just really sick, congested. I don't know, I was throwing up. It's like, oh, that's bad. And I'm driving him home and I'm just like, okay. You know?
Yeah.
And so then, because I don't know. I don't know if it's COVID.
Right.
I don't know what. So we get him tested, it's not COVID. The next day he wakes up worse. And so I drive him straight to this urgent care that we go to. They prescribe him antibiotics, steroids.
Oh, he's fucked.
Cough pills. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then the next day, and all the while, my wife has been battling something else. She gets this kind of vertigo thing going on.
And you can't fix that.
Can't fix that. No,
That-
that just takes time. So she's
That
kind
sucks.
of like she's kind of laid up. And then my daughter has been coughing for like 4 weeks straight. So our whole house just sounds like a chorus of coughing in the
Yeah.
morning. And I'm just like, no. So then I finally take her. They give her the same things because they think that she had that a while ago.
Okay.
And then I'm just like,
And you don't have it.
I definitely felt like I was starting to get it the other day. And I just went hard into these Chinese herbs and into vitamins. And I've got this Alia immunopen stuff. And I've been maintaining because I can't.
I know.
I'm holding it together.
I did.
can't.
I know more people lean on you, but I can't. Like my co-hosts on the Jason Ellis show are the two most paranoid COVID people, like snowflake libtard. They're insane. Like I think you should get vaxxed. My personal opinion. I think it's a good idea. I mean, if you want to have a mask on, I'm okay with that. That's good. Put it
Yeah.
on. Sorry, but those guys sometimes say stuff where I feel like I'm about to flat earth them. You know what I mean? Where I'll be like, just shut up, you fucking pussy, and take your mask off. Like, I feel like they bring out a person that I'm not even a part of.
Because they're so extreme with caution.
Extreme. Yeah, a comedian said that his wife might have COVID. They don't know yet. And it was a comedian that I was at the comedy store with. And I saw both of them go. I'm like,
yeah.
did you guys get coffee this morning? Because fuck off. You know what I mean? Like somebody around you might have it. Like I'm living my life. Don't look at me like I'm irresponsible or like and when he did it, I was like, really? Okay, well, I'm gonna go, but I don't know what else you can do.
Yeah. And that was tricky too, because when I saw Keegan get off the plane, I just thought, oh man.
People on the plane.
He might have, or just no, he just might have COVID because he's so sick. And he's clearly like he got sick through the night. He's been at college and whatever. And I'm just like, well, I'm driving him home. I'm just in it. I'm in it.
Kids.
Yeah, but I think it's just more that nowadays, especially as we emerge from all this, people are just getting sick like they used to get sick. And that's what happened at our house, but it just took over our house.
Do you think it could be a part of people who have spent so much time being social distancing that now people have laid off?
They just get hammered with a small cold. Maybe,
yeah, because I feel like
that's kind of what the doctor was saying when we brought him in.
Yeah, because not only did I not get COVID, but I don't get sick anymore because I don't fucking touch anybody or go anywhere anymore. Like I got.
Yeah. Well, come over to our house.
Yeah, fuck. I was gonna ask last night because I got a hotel last night and I was like, man, it's kind of expensive. I could just ask to fuck. I don't want to stay anywhere near your fucking house. Get away from me. This is the worst house
I
ever.
told you that last night.
Everybody's fucking sick. I'd be like,
oh man,
you're like, yeah, come on in.
You could have stayed. You know what? You could have stayed in our little. We have a little guest pool house. You could have stayed there and stayed away.
It's not near you.
You could have stayed away. So next time.
You guys are so dangerous.
Next time.
I'm like, man, I feel like I want to get a little edgy. I'm going to go to the Hawk Mansion and potentially get sick.
But I hear coughing so much that it's almost like a scratch record. Like, no. Like, and I feel helpless. Like, I can't help you anymore. I've tried.
And you can't leave. You have to stay. You have to keep
I'm here.
getting it. Oh, this is your escape.
I'm here for a little bit.
I
am late because I had to make cinnamon rolls.
Which is also, I love Superdad, man. I love Superdad stories.
I was like, okay, I'm leaving. Got my shorts, got my skateboard. Oh, can you make cinnamon rolls before you go? Yes.
It's so cool. My
What's
son called me the other day and was like, Dad, did I leave my Xbox in the back of your car? And I was like, yeah. He's like, can you give it to me? I'm like, you live an hour away.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, and then he calls me back. He goes, do you think you could Uber it? And I'm like,
whoa.
Yeah, all right.
Did you do that?
Yeah.
I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah, you can.
Just send packages?
Yeah, you just give them the bag and you go, they're going to pick it up when you go out the front. I don't know if you can or you can't, but my ex taught me that because that's how we kind of deal with each other now. We deliver children to each other or packages for the children.
Sometimes there's, I understand. When especially, I know, splitting houses, it gets tricky and sometimes there comes a point where you're like, you have to be accountable for this stuff. You have to grab what you want. I can't just deliver it.
Right.
You know what I mean? There has to be something there.
Yeah.
But I feel like if I was in that position, I would just be like, yeah, I'm driving it.
Right.
You know, like I'm so used to driving. Just like,
Right.
yeah, okay.
Well, that's the other thing. I'll go, but I will give everybody credit for that. My ex, my kids, everybody. If I've got to work, they know. I'm
right.
like, I got to work. And they
Right.
go, okay, well, then we'll do something else.
Yeah.
Like they don't go, well, come on, just drop your job. Like they know that my
Right.
job, probably when I say that
Yeah.
I'm working, I might be on air.
They respect that.
Yeah. And they're like, yeah, we
Yeah.
get it. Like you can't just leave the show.
Right. Yeah, I understand that.
Yeah. So, but we live a little further away from each other. We used to live closer, and then it would be a different story entirely. I
Right,
would just
yeah.
go there, but now it's like 2 hours to get there and back. I'm like, 2 hours
Yeah, that's a bit-
to
that's
get
a
there
bit
and
much.
back for your Xbox. Like you can't play the game tomorrow, dude.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like saying
It
that
is
to-
hard though, because you want
I want to
to.
make him happy.
Yeah, I know. It's always there's always the
So
struggle.
I'm gonna hang up, and he's gonna be like, "Fucking dad, won't bring me the fucking Xbox."
Yeah, I know.
And I'm like, I can't handle no.
I always wonder, like, what are those instances that they remember for their in their
Yeah,
adult
yeah,
life?
yeah.
Because there are certain things where I think, okay, I'm. This is a teaching moment. This is a teachable moment.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do this for you because you've got to figure out how to do that for yourself, or that we're not just catering to your every need.
All right.
You know, I'm not callous. Like I provide for them, but there's a certain point where it's like, all right, this is probably I wonder if those moments are impactful or if they're just like, nah, whatever.
I think if you're lucky, a couple of them are.
A couple of them, yeah,
Maybe one.
right.
But one of them definitely gets you.
But I know there are some things, especially my daughter will say that she remembers vividly, and it's like,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
crazy. Those are ones where when they say that, I go, how was I back then? Because if they remember that,
right.
did they? I mean, what did I do?
No, but
day
not,
to
I
day?
don't mean something negative. I just mean like what was vivid to them, what
Yes.
they remembered.
Yeah, I get it. I just
I'm not saying traumatic.
well, I go. You know what I mean? I'm like, I feel like I've been positive their whole life, but
Yeah.
I'm paranoid. I'm definitely the dark horse of the family.
Right.
You know, like they're like today, if I go to this thing today and they're there, I mean, it's like, whoa. And I'm like, yeah, fair enough. Everybody, fair enough. You know, I can't be like, oh, you're
You're
going to
the
judge
outlier.
me just because I look like a fucking maniac? Like, fucking judge away, you know? And then my kid looks at me like, it's dad. And I'm like, yeah, but fuck, man. You
Surprise.
don't deserve to be like, don't worry, my dad looks crazy. He's fucking full of gold teeth and punches people. Like, I'm like, I don't punch people.
Yeah,
on
but
the
but it's better that they feel like that than they're embarrassed.
yeah, okay.
You know, there's a sense of familiarity and comfort, and not just like, oh god, you're not coming in like, shut up, you got, some
Okay, yeah, good
drunk
point.
raging asshole.
No, I haven't done that. You're making me feel way better. I've never done that.
Well, that's what I mean. I just
Shut up, kids. Go get me a beer. I've never,
yeah, that kind of thing.
Wrong.
That's when you're embarrassing
Right.
and a problem.
Okay, well then I'm fucking good. I'm
Yeah,
solid.
you're okay.
Yeah. Just look weird in front of people. I feel like my kids kind of like it sometimes. Like when people get intimidated by me, they're like, yeah,
That's right.
yeah, don't say shit.
My dad can beat up your dad.
Yeah, no, which usually, because every kid thinks that. But my kids are right. I beat up everybody.
Every kid thinks that. Mine are right.
My dad could beat your dad easy. I remember my daughter said that once, and I had it as a button on my show. So I thought it sounded so cool. She was like 3 saying it too. She was
Oh, you
like,
recorded
yeah,
it?
My dad beat your dad easy. And I'm like, I would just
pretty
play it
cool.
every now and then. I'd be like, she knows what's up. You know, I had an argument with my son about McDonald's the other day when talking about putting your foot down. I don't like fast food. I don't like the corporate system of it. I don't like that like everybody's in a hurry and that the only food you can turn to is these fast food restaurants. I think it's
I think
they're
that's
bad
kind of
for the-
generalizing, but yeah, okay.
this is my opinion. I think
Okay.
fast food is the enemy of the world. I think like all these fat people that are a little bit slower than they should be because their choices of food. When you're in a hurry, I've been in a hurry. I drive. Fuck,
But
man.
it's not your
there's
only
no
choice if you're in a
options.
hurry.
If you or you meal prep. If you make meals for the day, then yes. Otherwise, the freeway
I feel like
says
there's a
freeway
lot
says-
of gray area in there between, but go
maybe
ahead.
you go into restaurants. That's where you beat me. but I don't have time to go
No,
to a restaurant.
okay, go ahead.
Anyway,
there are
I'm-
healthy snacks.
Not from McDonald's.
I mean, okay, never mind.
Awesome. I
Go
got
ahead.
the one guy that's like, McDonald's, because I know you do eat it and you like it.
I like it.
I'm not a fan. And
But also I believe in that kind of stuff in moderation.
yeah. Yep.
You're saying like it's the only choice and that's where everyone's going all the time.
I feel like
Yeah,
a lot
maybe
of
some people are and they choose to do that, but I
that's-
do feel like you can still do that in moderation
Yep.
and be healthy.
Hey man, you can drink
relatively
in
healthy.
moderation
Sure.
and be fine. But
Right.
I feel like a lot of people
Yes.
eat it every
of
day.
course.
They get into a
Yes.
routine and then they become like not who they
Right.
want to be. It's bad for you. So anyway, I go, man, I don't really
I
want to
didn't
take
know we
you
were going down
there.
this rabbit hole.
And he goes, and he gets dark. And I'm like, what? He's like, it's just McDonald's, Dad. Like, why can't I just get some McDonald's? And I was like, okay. Duly noted, I might be a bad dad right now, but your dad hates fast food. And when you're older and you got a job, you can go get fast food. But right now, in my car, I don't go through drive-thrus for McDonald's for anyone. You can get a
Okay.
McDonald's meal when you go back to your mum's house. And I was driving home going, are you an asshole? Did you just become a fucking shithead and my son is in the car going, what the fuck is his deal?
I do feel like
That's what happened, isn't it? God damn it.
it's probably one of those moments where, but at least you had the perspective that, wait, maybe I was a little harsh on that.
Yeah.
Where many parents are just like, nah, that's it, case closed. You'll have nothing and like it.
I didn't say you're banned from it or I think you're bad if you get it. Me personally, I can't rollerblade and I can't drive through McDonald's drive-thrus. I can't do it. I'm not doing it. I'm not going in there. Fuck you. Fuck you, rollerblade. I don't even care if you're nice and you didn't mean it. They're all the same.
They're all the same.
Snakes.
Oh my
Don't
god.
trust fucking rollerbladers or fast food restaurants.
I like this. That's it.
Those and like,
Anything else you want to group together with that?
not I'll get in trouble
That's
if I
it.
go group anybody else. Yoga people are worrying me a little bit lately, but whatever.
Can I say I like a cheeseburger no onions.
I know
McDonald's
you've
every once in a
always
while.
have. That's why.
But I like the small ones. I like the, you know what I mean? It's in moderation.
Yep. No, you've always eaten
And their
that.
fries. Their fries are good.
I remember somebody. I was like, why does Anderson Silva have a Burger King logo on his shorts? He's Anderson fucking Silva. And then someone goes, hey man, I don't know if you know this, but Anderson Silva loves McDonald's. He gets cheeseburgers from there all the time. And I'm like, really? Because I was under the impression if you're the greatest athlete alive that you don't eat one ever.
Would you consider, say, Subway fast food?
Oh yeah. But I don't, and then it came to you because I was arguing that was some bullshit. And they were like, what about Tony Hawk? He fucking does McDonald's commercials. And I was like, he eats McDonald's.
Yeah. Yes.
And they're like, really? I'm like, fucking really? Before he was Tony Hawk,
Yeah.
after Tony, like X Games Tony, video game, he fucking eats McDonald's. I've seen him do it. When he ain't doing it for like, look at me. It's just, hell yeah, I want to get some
And
McDonald's.
Subway.
And Subway. Good fucking for you.
There was a tour, that one of our birdhouse tours, where we pretty much had Subway every day.
Because you love it. I used to bitch about it on the show all the time. It made me think like every man and woman out there that's driving in a hurry and you look off the freeway, like where are you going to stop to get Jim's fucking sandwich shop is fucking gone. You know what I mean? Like I'd love to even, what's the Joe's thing? What's the sandwich guy?
Jersey Mike's.
Yes, Jersey Mike's. I don't even eat meat, but Jersey Mike's has got, like, if the Jersey Mike's was as big as McDonald's, I'd be okay. Because you got like a sandwich, it's real bread. You made the bread, like it's a sandwich. It's got stuff in there that's good. There's vegetables. They're actually they came from a garden. There's no spray over
You
it
just
to
pick
like.
your battles.
You're saying that I need to fuck Jersey Mike as well?
No, I don't
'Cause
know.
I will.
I feel like you
I make
justify your arguments however you can, so that it's like, no, but this is okay. But that one's fine. This is fine.
well, it's not okay. It's It's like it'll do. Not
do,
really.
sure.
I mean, what you're really supposed to do is make those meals and have them with you in the car, and that
Sure.
is tedious. I've done
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah.
It's really hard. Unless you have like a
Agreed.
The people that give it, they send it to you.
Unless your dad will make you cinnamon rolls.
Man, that sounds so good. Not having a dad.
I gotta say, there was a part of me when she asked, I was like, yeah, I could get one of those. I would
you
enjoy
made
one
it,
of
right?
those as well. What's
Did
that?
you make it or did you go get it?
No, I made. Well, they're the frozen ones where you
Oh, but you still made them.
Pillsbury.
Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah,
That sounds
those
fun.
ones are good.
Yeah. My wife will make that for me.
Yeah,
So I'm still.
but that's what I'm
living
saying.
it.
When she asked, I was like, I'm gonna be late, but it does sound pretty good. We'll make them.
Did you have one?
That's what I'm telling
Okay,
you. That's
okay.
that's what I'm getting at. I had one and went out the door.
But you guys talked a little bit while you were making it.
Yeah,
It's worth it.
Yeah.
Because those are the pockets you get when you're a dad and they get older.
yeah,
It's like, we're going to have a cool conversation that goes for roughly 4 to 5 minutes.
yeah.
And, you made the pancake and then they're off and they're talking.
Last
to their
night I
friends.
made sure to get some really good Italian food on DoorDash
Ah,
because I knew it would bring everyone to the table. So we actually had because our kids are, we're almost empty nesters. We only have one at home.
but not
And
now.
they're home from college right now. 3 of them are home from college. So we had a captive audience last night for
Huh.
Italian food. That was pretty cool.
That's awesome that
Yeah.
everybody comes back. How long do they come back for?
For now a week, but college schedule calendar is way different. So they get out, I think around December 10th,
Okay.
and then they go back to school in January. So in the wintertime, they're just going to be posted up for sure.
Do they like being back or do they like college better?
I don't know if they make that distinction.
Are they partying?
Well, a little bit. I mean, one that's home is legal age.
All right.
So he's out last night with
Right.
the homies with
With the
Clay
hom-
Kreiner and
Oh, really?
yeah, with and who else? Muscle,
That's
Chris Russell.
That's who they hang out with, though.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they all come in the same circles.
I never met Clay Griner. I'm a huge fan of his skateboarding, and I can kind of tell from all the videos that he doesn't mind a drink. He reminds me if I was in my prime, I'd be hanging out with that guy for sure. He seems right up my alley.
He's a very talented skateboarder.
And yes, to boot, holy crap, is he an amazing skateboarder?
He created a channel at the Combi. He jumped the
yeah.
round. I mean,
He's
the
that
round
guy.
bowl, that's an opening. That's not even a channel.
No.
He made it so.
Has anyone else done that?
No,
Right. Okay.
it's wild.
Yeah, I like that 360 flip over the gap at Ellis.
Oh, yeah.
Where he catches it.
Catches it with his front foot and
I'm like,
no grab.
to have vert skills and
Yeah.
street
It's pretty magical.
skills, like a blend where it
Yeah.
works. I'm like, that doesn't look bad at all what you're doing. It looks really good. And it's
Yeah.
hard to make a tray flip look good on a big board. It really is. Like, I don't care who you are. Get Kareem Campbell to do a tray flip.
Yeah. And
I-
usually your feet are bouncing anyway. Even when you catch it, it's still
Yeah.
kind of like it's just bouncing there.
I mean, you're going a lot faster and it's a
Yeah.
lot bigger than any other tray flip ever done.
True.
But even Bob and Danny, when they do tray flips on a mega ramp board, it looks like shit. But it's not them. It's making that boat do that trick.
yeah.
Your legs have to do a different thing to make that thing spin and flip.
You gotta wait.
I seen a video the other day of Danny tray flipping into the mega ramp. And I'm just like,
Oh,
God,
man.
dude, you're a fucking maniac.
That whole movement, I could never get into it.
Yeah. Just so much work for, I don't know.
Remember who was it? Giorgio Sattoni.
I
used
knew
to
you were
just
going to say
run
that.
that one.
Yeah, he loved that shit.
Yeah,
He still does.
fakey frontside half cab
Yeah.
into any ramp and sometimes kickflip in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, Andy could do that too.
Andy?
Andy could do kickflip in. I
Yeah.
think he did kickflip melon into the ramp and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't.
Good for them.
Yes, right? No, I'm seriously happy for
Blending those skills.
you. Yeah.
We're really
No
happy for
interest
him.
at all. It's
yeah.
like, why don't you skate
Yeah.
this double
I
kick,
know.
Jason? I'm like, I may as well because I'm not fucking.
I would not find joy in that.
Yeah,
like, I
even if
wouldn't
I
find-
made it.
Yeah, even if I made it, I'd be like, that was a nightmare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's hideous skateboarding here.
All right.
I know. Don't ever make. Let's never agree.
We're finally agreeing on something. we're never kickflipping in from the
I
deck.
just realized we're at a fast food fight. This is really the show.
Food fight.
Let's get all the burgers here.
I
and
wonder.
have a taste.
So I'm opening a restaurant with a friend who's
I saw that
Well, I
chicken
think-
hawk.
chick and hawk.
Yeah, I got it.
And I wonder if you'll consider that fast food.
No,
No,
I mean, did you get your fucking
I mean-
chicken meat from Chick-fil-A?
no. I mean, just mean like it's not a drive-through, but there will be a pickup window.
No, but that's the bit that I like. If
Okay.
it was every stop instead of Taco Bell, McDonald's, and KFC, it was fucking chicken hawk and you know what I mean. And
I mean,
other-
it's gonna be. He's an amazing chef, so it's
right,
gonna be,
which means he's using good ingredients.
yes.
Bread, people say bread's bad, but I don't know. I feel like it depends on your. You know how people say there's.
I've
that
tried to
weird
cut back on bread.
the caveman thing of people should eat like we used to
Right.
when we were kind of like
when your life expectancy was 30 years old.
right.
Yeah.
And we used to like hit things with clubs and eat it.
Sure, I guess we could go back to that.
Yeah, like I'm like
That would thin the population out quite a bit.
yeah, it's like what you're saying. My body would embrace that more if I just ate like raw meat and like a plant off the fucking
Yeah.
vine. Like I don't know if that's. I feel like sometimes my body, mood wise, bread is good for it. Like if I eat some bread, I'm like, it got the bit. The I think I don't
It's
want to
really hard for me to keep away from bread.
to just not
yeah.
do it ever again. That's
It's hard.
crazy. Because you
Yeah.
can do days and weeks, but never
Yeah.
again. Your body asks for it.
Well,
It's like meat.
Doesn't mean it's healthy if your body's asking for it, but yeah.
Well, it's like you said, if it's every now and then your body asks for it and then you have it, versus now I only eat bread. They're two different things. Like if you have bread every now and then because you feel it, like I got because I'm plant-based, every now and then I feel like eating meat. So I answer my body. I'm like, you know what? Put some chicken in that. And Katie's like, really? I'm like, yeah, no, I'll try it. And then I'll have some chicken because my body asks for it. And then I go back to my plant-based life.
All right. Well, listen to your body then, I guess.
Man, this is the
Is the
worst show
lesson-
I've ever done here. I feel like can this be like a special one that maybe doesn't come out or something? Fuck.
This is us preparing you for Rodney Mullen. He's coming.
Wait, he took my ability to do a good podcast.
He's
that was
coming.
it. The good only skills I've got left is on this one recorded show that Tony isn't going to release yet.
No, it's okay. You know, we talk about a variety of topics.
Let me just write down.
So
Not
we did that.
fast food. Skip that one next time,
I
Jace.
don't care. You can state your opinion. It's
Dude,
fine. I'm
if-
still gonna drive through places.
I've got a question before the show ends. I got an M3, a BMW M3. I just got it, and I put it in sport mode to do burnouts because Tony was late, so I went to a parking lot to do burnouts. Fucking, I can't drift it. It's like getting traction. Does anybody know how to make? I mean, I got horsepower coming out of my ass. How am I not drifting this fucking car? The tires? Somebody call me, M3 people, DM me. How do I get my fucking car to release itself so I can make smoke bellow out of Encinitas? Come on. Got my
Yes.
phone out and everything.
There's our call to action.
Yeah, whoever gives me the info that makes me do the burnout, I'll send you a skateboard. He's got nothing to do with it. It's not going to have Tony Hawk's fucking name on it. It's only Jason. BMW Jason. No Tony Hawk. No free DM skate park.
Thank
Don't
you.
do it. Leave me alone.
Thank
It's
you for
not-
your service.
It's not fair.
All right.
All right.
We gotta go.
See you next time.
Thank you. Like it.
Subscribe it.
Subscribe it. Let's get some subscribers.
What the fuck? Follow the YouTube. I'll make a good 5-star rating on iTunes and say how great it was. That's
Yeah.
supposed to help us as well.
Thank you. That's another call to action.
There you go.
All right. See you guys.